All right, welcome to the Fantasy Six Pack Hour. Today we're going to be talking about some players, whether or not you should be holding them or cutting them based on their start of the season, or if you're AJ, we just rage cut everybody if they had a bad Tuesday. So we'll be right back.
The Fantasy Six Pack Hour with your hosts, Joe Bob and AJ Applegarth.
All right. Welcome to the Fantasy Six Pack Hour. My name is Joe Bond, founder of FantasySixPack.net. With me tonight, over to my left, screen right, AJ Applegarth, down in the O's.
We're both screen right.
I know, whatever.
Screen
doesn't make what I said untrue.
I didn't say it did.
AJ Applegarth corrected me as always. What's going on, man?
That's what I'm here for. Not much.
Yeah. And Corey Pieper, how's it going, man?
Doing good. I feel like I'm out of place here. I should have a jersey on. I don't know if I have an O's jersey. I probably got like a Cubs or a Brewers one around here, but
that's fine.
Gotta rock the fresh fit here sometimes.
Well, mine actually just came in the mail today. I was a little surprised. Jamie Perrogue, who usually jumps in the comments, he has got the jersey hookups and surprised me with a Gunnar Henderson jersey.
And he hit a home run, first one. I think we could.
It was.
Jamie.
I'm gonna guess it's because of that. So yeah. Thank you. But like I said, tonight we're gonna be jumping into some discussion here. We kind of crowdsourced a bunch of players that you all were interested in. Our opinion, whether or not you should keep or hold, or it says keep or hold. Keep or cut, I guess is what that's supposed to mean. Thanks for whoever put that in the on the sheet. And yeah, I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah,
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. So again, before we jump into that though, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. All access memberships are always open. You can use promo code F6P MLB25 to save 15%. You're going to get access to the award-winning rankings. We've got daily pitcher and hitter analysis tools. We've got DFS cheat sheets. We got a ton of betting content. We've got a ton of things for you all to get in, and then football is right around the corner too. So we're going to have those draft cheat sheets ready for everybody. So without further ado, though, I'm going to hand things over to AJ because if it's not obvious, I've lost my voice a little bit from being on vacation. So I want to talk a little
vacation.
Less.
What's that?
I know.
Too hard when it gets
you know what? You ever seen that thing where it's like vacation or trip? Which one is it? Yeah, I had my kids with me, so it was a trip. It was not a vacation.
Sounds like a punishment.
You know what I mean? It's like, I went out of state.
Mandatory vacation,
but it's just, it really just means I get to take care of my kids in a different state.
Yeah. That's always a pleasure. I guess. All right.
Maybe part of the reason why I've lost my voice.
Yes.
But
let's
get into it.
Yeah, let's jump into here. We're gonna go with a little hold or drop action, and we're gonna start off with Mr. Alec Bohm. He's sitting on 4 runs, no homers, 1 steal. He had a slash line of 167, 178, 194. I don't know if that was before yesterday. I feel like maybe it was. No, that was going into today. Yes. Okay. Well, he had a good game today, but Joe, what say you on Mr. Bohm?
I think I'm going to give him a little more of a leash. He's a guy who, look, he's not, for one thing, he plays third base. Then this is going to be a theme of a lot of players that we're going to talk about. It's hard to find third base replacements at this point. Alec Bohm's not playing great, but I think, and we said this a lot of the shows, in the draft season. Alec Bohm's not a league winner by any means, but I think he's a solid enough player where he's not gonna hurt you in too many categories. And I know people are looking at oh, he has no home runs. I mean, the guy hits 15 a year. I think he can still get there, even if it was sitting at 0 right now. He steals 5 bases a year. He's got 1, so he's already well ahead of pace. The problem is the batting average, right? 167. He's swinging and missing a little bit more right now. He's not walking. There's a lot, BABIP's way down, and I know that's kind of take it with a grain of salt, but I think that really tells a lot of the story here with him, that he's just getting a little unlucky. A lot of the other metrics are kind of right there, so I'm thinking he'll be fine. The Phillies offense seems to be kind of up and down right now. They'll blow up certain games, and there's still more. There's still more games than they're worse. But I've seen games where it's what happened? Where did they go? But Bohm just hasn't quite figured it out yet. Neither is Stott and a couple of those other guys there. Yeah. So I think they'll turn that around, and Bohm included.
Yeah, Corey, what do you think about Bohm? Are you keeping him or are you dumping him?
No, and I have Alec Bohm in a few places. Highest barrel percentage of his career, hardest average exit velocity since 2021. He's just getting a little unlucky. The BABIP will correct. He's hitting the ball too low right now. That'll correct. He'll start drawing the walks again. I'm wanting to sit him. If I have another option, I'm looking to find another option to bench him for a while, but I do not want to cut Alec Bohm yet either. He is a great corner infield option.
Yeah, I looking at his stats here, the last 4 games, this series against San Fran, they split with San Fran, but he's got a 267 average, so he's hitting the ball a little better. He's making good contact, over the last week. Like you said, he's getting a little unlucky with some of the balls not, dropping. So, that steal did just happen Tuesday, so that's nice to see him running, but. I'd like to give credit to myself for this turnaround that we've seen, because I wore the I effing hate this place Alec Bohm inspired RotoWare shirt last week. So you're welcome, America.
Oh, I thought I thought maybe you dropped him and so he got good.
No,
that's typically how it goes.
I don't have him in my league, so I am okay with holding him though.
Yeah. We do have a comment here, and so we've got probably about 25 players at the very end here. So I threw this up on Reddit today, thinking, no, I'll get 4 or 5. No, it was bonkers. So we're not going to get to all of those players. It's going to be a little rapid fire at the end. But Ray Donovan jumped in here and asked about Vinny Pasquantino. He was one of the ones that got mentioned on that Reddit thread. So I want to just get to that one now. I don't know, Corey, what's your thoughts on Vinny P?
Vinny P is someone I don't have anywhere, but I know he has not been playing particularly well. 4 runs, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, hitting 200. Still drawing walks. He's getting unlucky. That's the same thing. It's a 208 BABIP. He's hitting the ball at right as hard. Another one. I don't want to drop Vinny P. He's hitting more fly balls, which has always been. That's a great sign. That's actually a good sign for him. 38% of the time he's hitting the ball in the air. It's close to 27% last year. So do I want to play him right now? Not particularly, but I'm not looking to drop Vinny P yet.
AJ, any thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Corey. I'm holding him for now, and again, I'm not afraid to necessarily sit him until he starts showing a little more signs of life. The walks are kind of nice, but he's got 12 Ks too, so it's just not there yet.
Yeah, I feel like Vinny P is one of those I feel like he's had some slow starts before. And so I'm not too worried about it here right now with him. And so, yeah, I'll hang on to him and hopefully he can turn it around. We know he's a really good hitter when it starts working for him. So I'll wait a little bit longer on him.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, let's jump into our next player here, and that is Mr. Tanner Houck. Houck with Boston. So far on the season, he's at 18 2/3. A bloated 9.16 ERA 11 Ks, and a 193 whip. Corey, what are you doing with Tanner?
This one is the one I feel best about saying, at least in the top section here, to drop. I'm more than ready to move on from Tanner Houck. He was pretty bad at the end of last season. Right now, when you have one more earned run than innings pitched, so your ERA is above 9, that's a bad sign. But the 11 strikeouts to 9 walks, when your whip is touching 1.9, I am ready to move on. You could say it's a little unlucky. Yeah, it's a 425. No, it's not even that bad. It's actually not as bad of a bad whip as I thought. It's 361. So yeah, maybe he pulls it down a little bit, but this is a scary proposition, and more likely than not, I think Tanner Houck actually gets removed from the Red Sox rotation. So I am fine dropping Tanner Houck.
Joe, keep him.
Yeah, completely agree. Just not a lot else to add there. I mean, at this point, just go stream somebody who's. There's a lot of guys sitting out there. I mean, I was talking before the show. I streamed Mitchell Parker and Jake Irvin this week for the Nationals playing Pittsburgh. Like you can find guys and just stream them until you find that locked in guy to take his place. And honestly, I'm totally fine like having that streamable spot on your roster especially if it's like a daily league. Just don't even worry about it. Yeah, he's cuttable.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely worth dropping. I had the fortunate luck of going against him in my league this week and threw up a negative 29 spot for my opponent on Monday. So that was a nice start to the week. Also had Seth Lugo and Taijuan Walker just sitting on his bench. Not sure why I didn't start him, but they didn't do much either. Still not negative 29, but yeah, I'm dropping. I would have rage dropped him Monday if I already had him. Yeah. That would have been an immediate, like, you're gone and dead to me for the rest of the season. So, next player up here, we have Mr. Marcus Semien. Similar to Mr. Bohm, 4 runs. He does have a homer, 6 ribbies, no steals, slashing 127, 200, and 190. Joe.
He's going to be one that's going to be really hard to cut. You're going to have somebody out there at this position that you feel comfortable putting in there. Unless you were able to pick up, Paris or somebody like that. Like there were a couple of guys that kind of popped out for second base early. Unless you got one of them, I'm not sure you're finding a replacement for him right now. That's going to be the biggest issue with a lot of these players, especially Marcus Semien, who you probably paid a pretty high price for in your draft. And
yeah,
I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. Like I don't pay up for him. All his stats, underlying metrics have been going down for the last couple of years. He's a far cry from the player that he was, 3 years ago when he's blown up. Power always tends to finally, find its way there with him, but it's just, there was a lot of things where I just was kind of off, man, like off of him big time. And especially when you saw the batting average drop to what it did last season, it was like, well, now the power's dropping and the contact is also dropping considerably. Like that's not a good sign. I mean, and he's getting up there in age, so I mean,
yeah,
not totally surprised. But I mean, shallower leagues, if you have somebody you can replace him with, I don't hate the idea of cutting him. The Texas offense is hopefully gonna be good this year. Langford is coming back this weekend from what I hear, so that's going to be a good sign for them. Adolis Garcia has been sort of hit or miss, and just I don't know. It's the Texas offense. I think is going to be kind of a headache a lot this year, kind of like it was last year. It's like there's so many good players, but like they just sort of underwhelm. That's what it's going to feel like, unless Wyatt Langford can just carry this offense, which is possible. I kind of think you're going to end up keeping Semien, but you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah. Corey, what do you think?
Marcus Semien is an accumulator. That's what he's been for a few years. He does it by getting the 700 plate appearances. That's a big part of his value, comes from just being there so much. Mm-hmm. And so far he's healthy. but he's not delivering. And like Joe said, it's been slowly. And this is a guy who's 34, working on going 35 here. I'm getting there myself, so I feel like I'm getting older. And you can start to slow down a little
10
bit.
years.
Thanks. So yeah, do I expect? I think Marcus Semien was probably overdrafted, but second base is tough. I don't want to drop Marcus Semien necessarily. I'd rather ride it out there. But Joe mentioned Kyron Paris. If it's Kyron Paris or Marcus Semien, I want to start Kyron Paris right now, but I don't want to drop Marcus Semien for Kyron Paris, if that makes sense. I'd rather keep Marcus Semien. He's still batting, like Joe said. I trust the Rangers lineup a lot more than the Angels lineup. He's still going to bat towards the top of that lineup. I think it'll get going. I want to keep him as long as he's healthy. If we get any indication that there's injury, then I'm willing to move on. But right now, I want to keep Marcus Semien. But I do think he was overdrafted. If you set the expectations of like 20 home runs and 10 steals and probably a negative batting average, I think he can still deliver that.
All right. Well, follow up on him real quick. Would you be more willing to try to trade him and pick up, either find someone that you can kind of plug and play, maybe a hot bat that's at second base, or would you rather just wait, see what happens?
I think the problem is there are no hot bats that aren't like highly rostered.
Yeah. True.
How about Marcus Semien or Jonathan Aranda?
Is Aranda second base eligible?
I just have Yahoo up because it's easier to sort by eligibility, to sort by roster. Should be second base eligible there.
I don't think he is in.
Marcus Semien or Tyler Fitzgerald. How about that one?
Yeah.
Marcus Semien or who?
Tyler Fitzgerald of the Giants.
I do like
he's
Fitzgerald.
All right.
He's been hidden, but that's because Phillies have Aaron Nola, who we'll get to.
Oh, Philly drip. We got it. What do we got? 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're asking me who am I starting right now, I'm starting those two over him. Like, would I trade them? That's a tougher call. I don't know. That's a high. I mean, those guys are played well. You're going to have to give me an extra piece if I have Semien. Semien is too high of a draft cost, and it's still,
exactly.
Like it's still.
That's kind of my
little
point.
More.
Is it would be nice to trade. Obviously, you need someone who's interested in him in the long term, like believes in the turnaround. If you don't, and then try to work maybe a 2-for-2 deal or something just because of the draft cost. I think that's going to be the deal breaker for a lot of this. But
here's an interesting thing that I just noticed. His sprint speed is 83rd percentile. Why is he not running more if he's got that sprint speed?
Because he's not getting on base.
But like even last year, right? Like last year, you would if he's only 8 steals. Like why? I don't know. Just interesting thoughts.
Yeah. All right. Next guy up here, shooting over to Cincinnati, and that is Mr. Spencer Steer. 6 runs, a homer, 3 ribbies, no steals, 120, 185, 220. Corey, are you keeping, or have you already dropped him?
So I actually have Spencer Steer in the Fantasy 6-Pack OG League where I replaced AJ. I got him. Part of the reason I'm keeping him there is because he has second base eligibility still, which means he's triple eligible. So as long as he's got that eligibility, I'll just ride it out. But in leagues where he's just outfield, my concern with Spencer Steer is that he's still hurt. Remember, they thought he was going to start the year on the injured list. I think it was a shoulder. And then shockingly, they're like, no, he's good to go. We're just going to DH him. So he's DH'd all the time. And he hasn't even attempted a stolen base yet, right? This is the guy that stole 25 bases last year, hasn't attempted a stolen base yet, is hitting the ball much worse than he's in the fast. 22% hard hit rate after being nearly 40% last year. So my concern with Spencer Steer is he's injured. And if it's just first base or outfield, I'm actually okay dropping Spencer Steer because I have a feeling that it is going to be an upcoming injured stint here, barring some turnaround that we see.
Yeah. Joe, what do you think on Steer?
Yeah, I completely agree. I was completely floored when it was like, surprise, he's healthy and he's going to play.
Yeah.
It's like, what? I almost kind of didn't want him to because he didn't have a spring. Clearly, he hadn't played. Like, and that could be another part of it, right? He's had, what, 20-ish games to kind of get things going here. I mean, that's spring training. So maybe he's just trying to get things going. And he's trying to do his spring training when all these guys have already been ramped up and they're rearing to go. Like but yeah, there's a lot of things like baseball savant, like his bat speed is down. He's chasing a lot more. Everything looks really bad for him right now. If he doesn't go on the IL like in the next week, I think I'm done with him.
So the interesting thing with him is I've already steered clear of him and dropped him. I had him on my IL slot, was ready to start the season that way, and then as you guys have mentioned, he started. Shouldn't have. He's got a strikeout in every game, at least one strikeout in every game except for 2 that he's played in. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits on the season. Like, it's garbage. Like, he's not doing anything for you. The other kicker here is now that Austin Hayes is healthy, he's been playing DH. So he's now taking these DH spots away from Steer too. So maybe this is where, Cincinnati can be like, hey, well, yeah, we're going to throw you on the IL now. We should have just left you there to start the season. And they can blame it on, well, he's not going to get the playing time because Hayes is here now. Hayes, who knows if he's going to be, another injury away in a week or so anyways. But, as I said, I've already cut Steer, and the clown that I'm playing this week picked him up. So that's fun.
We do have a comment in here. We've been letting it sit for a bit, so let's get to it here. Inca Audio. In Dynasty, just traded Matt Shaw,
Travis
Zana, Cade Horton for Westberg, Bautista, and Heel. My question is this the right time to trade for Westberg? Secondly, did I overpay with 3 higher end prospects? I think it depends on if you're a win now team. I think if you're a win now team, that move's not terrible. Although, when's Heel coming back? He's hurt right now, right?
I think it's like mid-season. Yeah. I think you're probably looking at summer for Heel.
So that's a decision. And Bautista hasn't looked awesome. So
his progression's being pushed back about 10 days now.
Yeah. So Bautista, we were just talking about it before the game. He came in a non-save situation today because shockingly, the Orioles have no save chances this year. They've won, and he has it. It wasn't great, but he has it. But they just got to get him some work. And he looked iffy today, man. I'm not gonna lie. He walked the guy very first pitch, sailed it over the catcher's head, went this close to the umpire's face, just drilled the brick wall behind home plate in Camden Yards. Oh my gosh, nice. Probably would have killed the umpire had it hit him. I mean, he kind of rated the ship, struck out too. I think Bautista will be fine. It's gonna take a bit for him, though. I do think Westberg, I think, is on our list here somewhere. I think he's gonna be fine. He started off the first week was great. Yeah, and it's kind of been since
he's battling it. He's been battling an injury too.
Yeah, he did get hurt real quick there. Yeah. So, like I said, for me, this is if you are in it to win it this year, I think it's an okay move. Those are some really high end prospects to give up. But prospects are prospects. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing with them, maybe they show out in their first year and then hit a sophomore slump, and then Westberg continues to gain momentum and come into his own and become a really good player. I really like Westberg. Bautista, again, still wait and see there too. He looked bad on opening day, at the home opener. Sorry, not opening day, but the home opener in Baltimore. He, an inning, 2 hits, 2 earned, 2 walks. He was all over the place. Only 1 save so far. So you just got to kind of take it with him, and the O's offense not playing well right now doesn't really help the situation.
Yeah, they just took the series from Cleveland.
Well, true. They're finally starting to show some life. So,
couple quick ones here.
right.
Is Christian Walker a drop? I have Soderstrom playing a catcher and Aranda sitting there, so that's another time we've mentioned him today. I don't know if I'm totally out on Walker. I'm fine. Like,
I'm not dropping Christian Walker.
No.
I'm not dropping Walker, but I'm fine like benching him until he shows some things because those two are producing right now. So do what you got to do.
Yeah, Soderstrom's great.
Yo, dude, he's awesome.
In the league in home runs.
Cam Smith hit one today. Yeah, Cam Smith or Matt Shaw. Cam Smith. He's actually starting to turn it around a little bit. Man, Matt Shaw just got sent down. So to me, it's easily Cam Smith because he's playing. Nick Kurtz actually coming up very soon. Yeah, actually, we put an article out this week. Something to watch for with talk about how the Athletics are, trying to make room for Kurtz, and they moved Rooker to the outfield, which is a risky proposition. But they're gonna test those ladders again. It sounds like, but yeah,
I'm holding Nick Kurtz at a couple of redraft leagues. I think it's by the end of April we see him.
Yeah. It's gonna happen. So, all right, AJ.
All right,
let's go.
All right, back to the list here, and we've got Michael Toglia, 5 runs, 1 homer, 5 ribbies, 1 steal, 172, 209, 266, 32 strikeouts in 62 at bats. Not good at all. So, Joe, what are you doing with Toglia?
Toglia was a guy who I also did not like before the season started. I kind of was not in on him. Like I think I took him in one place because it was super late. Corey, was that our draft?
I don't think so. I don't think I have Toglia anywhere.
Maybe I don't have him. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah. I don't know. He's not a high batting average guy anyway. So, you were hoping that he could be like, hey, let's accumulate home runs and steals, right? Because he only played 116 games last year and he gave you 25-10. I mean, who does this remind you of for the Rockies, right? A couple of years ago, and that's what we talked about. It was like, hey, like we saw Nolan Jones do this 2 years ago, and then he fell off the face of the earth, right? I mean, it happens with these Colorado guys for some reason. They get hot, they take advantage of cores, but man, if they can't connect with the ball and that offense is putrid, then he's not going to accumulate anything even when he does hit because nobody else is on base. So I'm actually fine dropping him, and just there's first base usually kind of hanging out there that's at least moderately, producing. It's better than this. So,
yeah, Corey, what are you thinking on Toglia?
Yeah, I think he's droppable. If we'd have done this yesterday, it would have been 1 home run and 1 RBI, or no home runs and 1 RBI. He hit a grand slam yesterday, but you cannot strike out at a 50%. You cannot strike out at a 50% clip and whiff 42% of the time, because the idea behind Coors Field, right, is okay, well, it boosts batting average because the outfield is so big. Well, the one way you don't boost your average is you strike out 50% of the time. If that's the case, I don't think he's going to they'll find a replacement for him. There has to be somebody better than that. You cannot strike out 50% of the time. So I'm fine dropping Toglia. Like we talked about Jonathan Aranda earlier. I'd rather have Jonathan Aranda miles at this point ahead of Michael Toglia. So yeah, I think he's droppable. And if he gets hot, I think that's somebody to just ride the hot hand. I don't think you do not have to keep Michael Toglia on your bench. No.
I think the big thing with him, I mean, you mentioned the strikeouts near 50%. Colorado's leading the league in strikeout percentage at just under 30%. So it's not just him, but
yeah,
he's a big part of that number being where it is. So
basically, if your pitcher is playing Colorado, especially when they are on the road, play them. I almost don't care who it is. You're playing them
away. All right. Looking at our next guy here, we have Mr. Max Muncy from the Dodgers. 4 runs, no homers. There's a theme going here, clearly. 3 ribbies, no steals. Average a little bit better than what we've talked about here. 193. Ooh, watch out.
Ooh.
Mendoza, here we come. 309, 263. Corey, what do you want to do with Max?
Another guy. I have a lot of Max Muncy. The OBP is still good. He still draws his walks. He's got the 9 walks. So OBP league, I'm still playing him. I have him in the Fantasy 6-Pack series, which is an OBP league. I put him in utility every week. I'll keep taking my chances. As long as you're playing in the Dodgers lineup, the chances of you not delivering at least runs and RBIs is exceptionally low. I think that it looks like he's still hitting the ball hard enough. Like, he's striking out way more than he ever has, but the exit velocities and the hard hit rates are actually higher than they've been before. So I'm fine with Max Muncy. I'm actually okay still playing him. I'm not looking to drop him at anywhere. In an average league, you just have to realize it's not going to be as high. Like, if you get 230 out of him, I think that's fine. He had 2 hits yesterday. Maybe we're getting out of it a little bit. They are not playing him every day, which is irritating. Because when you have the ability to get Kike Hernandez and his, I think, 6 hits this season, you got to take advantage of that. So that's a little irritating, but I'm fine even playing Max Muncy in most cases. I think this is just a temporary lull.
Joe?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and you're seeing that he is chasing the ball a little bit more right now. He's swinging more on outside pitches, although he's making quite a bit of contact on pitches outside of the zone, 56%, which is a career high right now for him. So he just needs to stop chasing and actually like waiting for the ball to come into the zone and just make contact. It just feels like it's just one of those slumps where he's, they try to press a little too hard. They're trying a little too hard, and they just need to let it come to them again. He's too good of a hitter for me to think that this is going to continue at this point. But Corey just nailed it right on the head there. Like, average leagues, like, you knew what you were getting going into it, right? This is what you got. Like, batting average is not good with him, but OBP leagues, he's still perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think I'm holding Max for now. Again, the OBP, it's too high to want to be able to lose that right now, especially in those leagues. So hold him, see what happens. I think he'll be good, be able to turn it around. Okay, as alluded to earlier, we've got another Philly on this list. I don't know why you guys allow me to host and then put 2 Phillies on here. Even though I was
hoping you wouldn't have to talk as much about them. You just ask the question and then shut up.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. Good luck with that one.
Wishful thinking.
Yes.
I want to hear.
You should know better in 10 years that will not ever happen. Mr. Nola off to his absolute worst start of his career. 0-4. He has never started 0-4. I don't even believe he's ever lost 4 straight games in a row, but never started 0-4. 21 2/3 innings, 665 ERA, and a 166 whip with only 25 Ks. Joe, what's the deal with Aaron Nola?
I'm going to hold him. You're not going to get anything for him on the trade market. If you drop him, that's like fantasy suicide. I've never been a fan of Aaron Nola for fantasy. He is Marcus Semien, esque. He's an accumulator. He's very rarely had these like amazing seasons where you're like, oh my gosh, he's going to be like a top 2 round pick. Like, he should almost never be that. He has been a couple of times, and I always go like, what? Like, yeah, you all looking at the same thing I am. Maybe after 2018, you could have convinced me. That's about it. Otherwise, he's he's a above average pitcher. That just accumulates a ton of stats. Good strikeout pitcher. And if anything, like, his strikeouts are better this year than they have been for the last 3 seasons. So there's that. Yeah. He's just getting hit really hard right now, and so that's a little concerning. So he's got to figure out, like, is he missing a little bit here and there, a little mechanic switch, but he's getting hit harder than he has for a long time. And he's always had kind of an issue with home runs. but they're even worse this year for him. So he's got to get that under control, or we may be looking at like a 5 ERA season for him, unfortunately.
Oof.
But I mean, hey, that means it goes down the rest of the way, right? There's that.
Yeah, Corey, what are you doing with Nola?
I'm more optimistic than Joe is. I'd say that I'm more optimistic than Joe. You can say, it's the odd year thing because every other odd year he's bad, but everything looks fine except for he's just getting extremely unlucky. Like his expected ERA is 3.99. Yes, his ERA is sitting at 6.65. His expected ERA is over 2.5 runs less than that. His xFIP is 3.41. The problem is 63% is what his strand rate is, which is exceptionally low. That almost assuredly will go up at least 10%. And he's giving up a 377 BABIP. He's actually getting more ground balls than ever. 1/5 of the balls he's given up in the air are being home runs. Like I think it almost assuredly is going to get better, and he probably finishes as a top 30 starting pitcher.
Joe,
okay.
I will allow you to speak again.
So you say the strand rate is going to get better. Have you looked at the every other year thing? So it is kind of a joke. So it's 66% 2 years ago, 66%. Yeah, 4 years ago.
66,
so it's right there. Like, I mean, so maybe it'll go up to 66 from 63.
Can we drop that 377 BABIP down, considering that he's never had one higher than 308 before this year? Like,
I said, he's getting hit. But he's getting hit pretty hard this year, for whatever reason. Like it is. So there is something to that. But yeah, I mean, I think overall he'll right the ship a little bit. It's not going to be this bad.
Yeah,
he's better than this.
For the original question, there is no way I'm dropping Aaron Nola. Like in a league where strikeouts are hard, finding people who are consistently in the rotation is hard. This is a guy who's pitched over 190 innings 3 straight years and giving. Yes, is it an accumulator thing? Maybe a little bit of an accumulator in there, but pitchers that pitch 190 innings are incredibly rare now. And if he does it with even an average ERA and adds the strikeouts, that's a at worst an SP3 on your team.
Yeah, he's gonna get you he's gonna get you at or above 200 strikeouts.
Yeah.
So you can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
There's a question in the chat about Nola too.
Okay. We'll hit that in a second then. The big thing that's been on the airwaves here in Philly is the fact that he is not a good cold weather pitcher. He's from Nola. He wants that warm weather. He needs that humidity, needs that sticky icky in the air so he can get movement on his pitches. You're not seeing that right now. Clearly with this horrific start. But yeah, Corey, you mentioned it. You nailed it on the head. He's a 200 inning pitcher or close to. You do not see that. He's going to get you the Ks. As long as he can get the control dialed in, I think he's going to be okay. The other issue is that his velo has been down a little bit in the first few starts. I believe it went back up to like 92, 94, somewhere in there over his last start, not this past one, but the start before that. So, that might be an issue too, that he's not throwing as fast as he usually does. Maybe that's part of the cold. I don't know, but definitely not dropping him. He's just got to ride the waves with him right now. And
I think this here's the question. Stan, drop Nola for Max Mayer. No, but go get Max Mayer. Like he's been awesome. He probably not going to get you a lot of wins, but he's going to be good for you otherwise.
Yeah, so, I would not drop him either, but I would definitely pick up Mayer.
Yeah, and Jamie, what's up, man? Talked about you. Thanks for the jersey, bro. Good times. Jack Skellington. What are we doing here? All right. Next up.
All right. So this is a name that has been brought to us by Fantasy Six Pack friend of ours, and that is John Lepresto, asking about Mr. Charlie Morton. He is also 0-4. Few less innings than Nola at 18 1/3. A few more runs in the ERA at 8.84. 19 Ks. and a 191 whip. Ugh, Corey. Morton? Yes? No? Bye? Felicia?
So me and Joe have Charlie Morton in our Darf League. And now that's a 15-team roto.
Okay.
Look, in a 12-team traditional like home league, you can drop Charlie Morton, right? In that type of a league, I'm perfectly fine moving on from Charlie Morton. Do I think it's going to be this bad? Absolutely not. Like another one, his strand rate is at less than 60%. That is not going to happen. This is a dude for over a multiple year career, almost always is in the mid 70s since his days in Pittsburgh and Philly. So that's a long time ago. I think it'll be better than this, but he's not getting ground balls. He's walking way too many. You're getting strikeouts. It'll be better than this, but in most leagues, yeah, he's droppable.
Joe?
Totally agree. Picked him up actually in Fantasy Six-Pack Series for his 2-start week, and I immediately regretted that because he got rocked. And I was like, duh. I kind of knew that was going to happen. So yeah,
was a bad choice. AKA Mort was a bad choice.
Yeah, I just think, if he plays the Rockies, in Camden Yards, maybe. Other than that, maybe the Marlins, teams like that, go for it right now. But other than that, man, I'd be afraid to use him because he's not pitching well. Period.
Just beat on the Rockies night apparently.
Morton like 50,
Yeah.
40, 42,
Close.
41. He turns 42 this year, I think. So, yeah, he's up there.
Yep. All right. Next up, we have Triston Casas. He's got 3 runs, 1 homer, 3 ribbies, 0 steals, 172, 243, 266. Joe, are you casting in on Casas?
We talked about him last week when we had Jaason Martinez here from Rasa Resource. And I wasn't saying so much like drop him, and I'm still not going to, but I am really concerned. Now, they haven't been platooning him quite as much as they were like right before that show happened. But they're still pulling him out of the lineup quite a bit. They have dropped him in the lineup. So there's another red flag for him a little bit. Casas hasn't quite ever put the full season together, so it's the potential that is there, right? Like he was an awesome prospect. He had a good end of 2023. Last year he was hurt and he was pretty good when he was on the field. This year, it's been a really rough start for him. I'll say this for him: Ks are down from last year, so that's a good sign. It's back to his 2023 year. Walks are down too, though, so you don't like to see that. He is getting a little unlucky. BABIP's really low at 222. But some of that might be just because he's really not hitting the ball that hard. Only a 26% hard hit rate. So he's just. It seems like he's not quite seeing the ball like he should be right now. I do think he'll be better. I'm not ready to drop him. But if somebody gives me the right offer, I'd be willing to trade him if I've got somebody at first base that I can decide. Like if you were lucky and you picked up like Soderstrom and you can just slide him in, somebody gives you a replacement in like outfield or third base or something like that you need, I'd be fine trading Casas right now to just better my overall team.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not opposed to trying to trade him and again find a believer that wants to take him on and see what you can get back. You can find something of need, even if it's corner, middle infield, stash or pitching help, something that
I think there's too many Triston Casas like super truthers still out there, and I think he's a fine player. I'm just not sure he's ever going to quite live up to the hype that is Triston Casas. At least not right now.
Agree. Yeah. So
I have one for you. Would you rather have Triston Casas or Nate Lowe?
Probably Probably Casas. I'm not.
I think I'm taking Nate Lowe, dude.
I kind of like Lowe, yeah.
He's in the lineup every day. He bats third. He's looking pretty good. All the underlying stuff looks good. Like, that's where I'm at with Triston. I thought Triston Casas was overvalued in the draft. I'm not sure what Triston Casas has ever done to earn the. He was going in the top 100. I don't know why he was going in the top 100 on a lot of the picks. I thought he was a perfectly fine, like, corner infield first base option, but he was never. I think this is what he is. Like, if you get 20 homers from him, you got 80 RBIs, and he hit 250. Like, that's what he does. That's what he's done his whole career. He's never shown that he can do that more, other than in these really short spurts. Like, Yandy Diaz can do that for me. He's done it one time. Yeah. I think Torkelson's probably going to beat him. So I think he's fine. I just think he was overdrafted.
Yeah. Sorry, I had a brain part. I thought you were when you said Lowe, I thought I would Josh Lowe, and I was like, but he's always hurt, and he is hurt. Yeah, no, Nate Lowe's the easy choice. Yeah, give me Nate Lowe. Like, I know it's Washington, but
yeah, he's playing every
like
day.
We said, Texas hasn't. They're not killing it right now either, so it's fine.
Too many lows in the game.
Nate, Josh, Brandon, got them
all. Also, all of these players we're talking about are quite low. All right, next guy up here is Jonathan India, and we've looked at 5 runs, no homers, 4 ribbies, no steals, 183, 310, 233. Corey?
Well, the most important thing with Jonathan India, as far as I'm concerned, is so far they have not moved him out of the leadoff spot. If they move him out of the leadoff spot, then I get worried. As long as he bats leadoff in front of Bobby Witt and Vinny P and Salvador Perez, I think the runs are almost inevitable to come. He also should be picking up more eligibility soon. He's played the outfield. He's been playing third. So if I can get a triple, at some point, I think I will have a triple eligible second base, third base, outfield with corner and middle infield player who's batting at the top of a lineup in Major League Baseball. I think that'll be fine. Now, do I want to drop him? No. Do I want to play him right now? No, it's been awful. He's been miserable. I have him on almost every team. Like, this is one of the guys I was leaning into, and it's been tough, but I want to keep him because I think eventually he's going to be an ideal bench option who can fill in a lot of spots. But yeah, man, I don't want to start him right now.
Yeah. Joe?
Yeah, India's a tough one. I was really excited about him moving to Kansas City, and when he finally did get that leadoff spot, it was like, oh man, here he goes. Like, I've always liked Jonathan India's game. It just never seemed to quite all come together in Cincy. He was also like hurt a lot in Cincy, so that played a huge part of it. Yeah, I mean, just for whatever reason, it's just not happening right now. I mean, look, it is still cold in Kansas City, by the way. Like, let's be real. So like that's gonna take the juice out of the ball in there. So I have to make a lot of excuses for him, but that's not gonna help. And honestly, like we're talking about this Kansas City Royals lineup right now. Like, nobody's really crushing it. Like, even Bobby Witt's like doing fine, but he's not doing what we thought he would be doing. Like, he's still plenty fine. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's still awesome, but you're expecting like just amazing.
Sorry, I didn't cut you off. They are 28th in average. They are dead last in home runs. They are third worst in runs scored. Like, and that's a team that India, Witt, Pasquantino, Salvador Perez. There was at least those guys were top 10 options, maybe top 15, 20 options at their positions at the top of their lineup. And then, it drops off. But do I think their lineup is suddenly one of the worst 5 in baseball? No. So I think it'll improve. And I think India, Witt, Pasquantino, Perez, I think all of them will be better. And I would not be looking to drop any of them. Yeah.
Honestly, like, I mean, if somebody wants to drop him or like sell him to you for peanuts, I'll take my chances on India. I do think things are going to come around. He's too good of a hitter, in my opinion, for this to be what he's going to be. He's never batted anywhere close to this low in batting average. So I'll take my chances on him.
Yeah. 10 games at third, 8 at left. So he'll be getting that outfield eligibility here soon. That's going to be big. I do feel like he needs to hit more, but I think that's going to come. Again, the OBP is nice, though. Again, we're same thing that we're looking at with Muncy. He's getting on base, and if you're in that category league with that, you got to hold him. I mean, I'm holding him anyways, but I'm just benching him for right now. So, all right. Next fella up here is Mr. Lane Thomas. No homers, no runs, 2 RBIs, 1 steal, 147, 189, 176. Joe, why?
He doesn't like Cleveland. I don't know. Like, I mean, anybody see him play in Cleveland last year? It was bad. I liked him when he, his last few years in Washington were pretty good, especially 2023. That 28-20 season was great. Wasn't quite on pace with that in 2024. Had 8 home runs and 28 steals before he got traded, and then it just fell off. Like, it was like, no. And it's even gotten worse this year. I'm out. Like, I don't really think he's worth holding on to.
Yeah, Corey.
Yeah, easiest one on the list. You can move on from Lane Thomas. I know he was hurt. You could try to blame some of it. I know he missed, I think, 4 or 5 games in a row with an injury, and he's been back the last few days. But like Joe said, he's now played 63 games with Cleveland. He has 7 home runs, 25 RBIs, only the 5 steals. That's what you were drafting him for, and he's hitting 199 in 63 games. That's the St. Louis version that we saw early in his career from Lane Thomas. Other than a 2-year stretch with the Nationals, or really a 1.5-year stretch, he's really never done a lot in his whole career. I'm fine moving on from Lane Thomas. I don't think that the Guardians will be afraid to move on from him soon too.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a fringe player for them at best, assuming he keeps us up. So yeah, I'm moving on as well. Speaking of moving on, let's go to our next guy. Sorry, not last guy. Hunter Goodman for Colorado. 6 runs, 3 homers, 7 RBIs, no steals, 222, 300, 444. Corey?
So when I wrote, I think it was the first waiver wire that I did for Fantasy Six Pack, Hunter Goodman was toward the top of it because I saw a catcher who's playing every day at catcher or DH. They're DHing him when he's not in the lineup. And it was, I think at the time he had 2 home runs on the road, and he had an upcoming series against Colorado. And I'm like, okay, let's go. Here we go. And then he was god awful in the series against when he was finally at home. I think he went like maybe 1 hit or 2 hits, and then he had another home run on the road. So no, I'm not dropping Hunter Goodman. I still think Hunter Goodman has the potential to play 150 games at catcher, which is almost unheard of. And then half of his games are at Colorado, where it can't be. He's going to do something there. Do I think he's going to give me a good average? No, he's probably going to hit me 230, but I think there's 25 to 30 home runs in there, and he's going to give me some RBI. So no, I'm not dropping Hunter Goodman. I think he's a top 10 catcher.
Okay, Joe?
Yeah, I'm right there with Corey for a catcher eligible player who is going to play that many games. You do not get rid of. I'm shocked. Nobody on Reddit, Twitter, in the Fantasy Six Pack Reddit Discord asked about Wilson Contreras. I'm shocked because it's the same. This is the same guy right now. Like, when you think about it, right? It's the same guy. Now, Goodman's actually been playing better. But Contreras is abysmal right now. 145 average. Had a home run a couple of days ago. Finally, 7 runs, 7 RBI. Actually has a random steal. But again, Contreras is going to play first base. We know he's going to accumulate a ton of at bats for a catcher, and that's going to be fantastic for him at the end of the year. You're going to see a ton of counting stats from him, and So Goodman's the kind of the same way. It's just an accumulator of stats at a position where guys sit every 3-4 days. So give me that, 9 times out of 10.
I'm thinking of the Spider-Man meme where there's 3 of them pointing at each other, and you've got Goodman, you've got Contreras, and you've got Sal Perez, and they're all going like this.
Yeah,
they're all the same right now. They all have catcher eligibility. And Goodman's the one who's actually catching, the majority of the time here, but the other 2 have the eligibility. They're all 3 of them are worth owning. and rostering and being able to plug and play in that position, especially if you're in a 2-catcher league, that's a no-brainer. But if you're in a 1-catcher league and you have some of these other positions, Goodman's at outfield. I think Contreras just got his first base eligibility finally. So him and Sal are at first base. What's not to like with these guys? So
you don't want to use them at first base, but
no, you don't. I mean, you definitely
drafting
want
them
them
catcher
for the catcher eligibility. But
I just moved him to first base in the league. JT Realmuto was on the free agent list. I picked up JT Realmuto and I put Sal Perez at first base because I think I was rolling out. I don't know which one of the scrubs we're talking about. Someone, I think Vinny P actually. So I said, now I'm going to put Vinny P on the bench and put Sal Perez in there.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
You know who the ultimate cheat code is? If he's got that eligibility still, Soderstrom. She's got the catcher eligibility.
Yeah. Well,
in a few places. I think Fantrax, he still got it. And it's like, whoo, Monet.
That's
he's just destroying it.
He lost it in.
It sucks because in the league I picked up Soderstrom, I
it.
drafted Cal Riley, and it's an OBP league. And they're both just destroying the baseball right now. So it's like, I mean, I've just used up both of them. But like it'd be nice to like throw Soderstrom in catcher also. But hey, at first base, if he can contribute like this all year long, it'll be plenty fine to leave him there.
Yeah, he was a guy I was looking at, as he was coming up because of the catcher eligibility. He may have had third base eligibility at one point too. Or
I don't know.
No, I'm thinking of another. There was another athletic that had third base and catcher, and he only played third base. I can't remember who it was now, but I digress. On to our next Fantasy 6-pack employee question here. That is Mr. Mark Strasberg asking about Luis Severino, speaking of the Athletics. 0-3, 24 2/3, 4.01 ERA, 21 Ks, 126 whip. Joe, I believe I asked you first 2 times ago.
Okay.
So that means it's your turn.
Sure. I'm not dropping Severino. He's doing pretty much the exact same thing he did last year. The ERA is a little bit better, or a little bit worse. I mean, strikeout rates around the same. I think what happened here, right, is Mark sees, and probably a lot of managers see those 2 games in a row where he allowed 5 earned runs. And look, it's early, right? 1 bad game, 2 bad games really are going to make your numbers look really bad right now as a pitcher. You have to be way more patient with pitchers early on than you do hitters, in my opinion. Hitters at this point, we've got 20 games from a lot of them, right? 18, 19, 20 games. If they play every day, that's a fairly decent sample size, but it's not like, you really need like 2-3 months of a sample size to really be able to say a lot of things, in my opinion, about a hitter. For pitchers, you need like 2 months, 3 months, at least of starts to really be like, yeah, this is who this guy is. They're going to have rough stretches. They're going to have bad games unless, look, we're talking about, like, look at Chris Sale right now. He's not looking good at all. Anybody going to drop him?
Immediate cut.
I mean, he's looking worse than Severino right now when you look at ERAs and stuff. Like, come on. I'm not dropping a guy who has a 4.01 ERA. I'm good.
Sale and Wheeler pitched against each other in Cy Young and Cy Young runner-up, and they both sucked on Sunday.
Yeah. Yes.
It was terrible.
Very rare.
Wheeler got screwed by an error or botched outfield play, but either way, it was like going into that game, it's like, okay, here we go. And then, it was like, okay, this is miserable. Thanks. Corey, what do you think about Severino?
I think he's more of a streamer than a must hold, though. That's just because I don't want to play him. Joe's talking about those 5 earned run games. Both of those games at Suter Park, I do not want to play him
that's true.
Basically at any home game at this point. Now, he did do well in the last game there, 5 2/3. He gave up 1 earned and struck out 6, but there are nearly no matchups. Like I think did they play Colorado there already? I think they might have. But other than maybe Colorado on the road, there are very few teams I want to play him against at home there because of how hard it is. So what Joe said is true. Like, I think he's probably going to be fine. I think he'll pitch to roughly a 4 ERA like he did last year. This is not Luis Severino of years ago where it was a 2 ERA. He is kind of an accumulator on a lower degree to Aaron Nola, but I'm not going to play him in almost any home matchup, which to me makes him streamable. So I am fine dropping him. You just got to look at the schedule coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's had 3 home games. The 2 where he got, pretty roughed up in were against the Padres and the Cubs. Yeah. His last one was against the Mets. So not as bad. He is walking a good number of guys, but I don't think that's out of the ordinary for him either. So I fear the home run. I know it looks like he gave up 2 home runs in each of those games. Walking guys, fly ball pitcher in that park. So the big games could come. So I'm not going to play him there, which to me makes him droppable. And I'd be fine. If you get a 2-start, Joe was talking about 2-start week with Charlie Morton. If I see Luis Severino as a 2-start week on the road at Seattle, which is a home team, and like at Seattle and at the Angels or something, sure, I'd pick him up and I'd use him in that. But I don't want to use him at home, so I'm fine dropping him.
Yeah, I'm good with the streaming aspect of his game for right now, and until he shows more consistency both home and away, which I don't know if he will at home, but I just looking at what he's done so far hasn't been impressive. And he was okay last year. Granted, that was with the Mets, so better offense in general, better ballpark in general. So it was to be expected, but I'm good either dropping or just streaming. All right. So the next guy we have here is Lenyn Sosa. 4 runs, 1 homer, 5 ribs, 0 steals, 259, 286, 370. Corey, what say you on Sosa?
I'm surprised to see his name on this list. I was like, how old rostered is Lenyn Sosa? And it's less than
6%.
6%, 1%. It is extremely low. So the leagues where you're going to roster Lenyn Sosa are probably either extremely deep or AL only, where you're just looking for healthy bodies who are playing. And he's still doing that. So if you're playing in an exceptionally deep league, then fine, keep him. But 12 teams, even 15 teams, I'd move on from Lenyn Sosa. There's what's the best outcome of Lenyn Sosa? You get 10 home runs, 5 steals, and he hits 250. Like, yeah, you move on from that in anything other than the deepest of leagues.
Yeah.
Joe?
I got nothing else. Move on.
Same here.
We're good.
All right. Last pitcher of our main event of names here, and that is Kumar Rocker. Has gotten rocked so far for 0-2 record, 11 1/3 innings, 7.94 ERA, 1.94 WHIP, and only 6 Ks. Joseph?
Yeah, I'm good dropping him. It doesn't seem like he's quite major league ready yet. I mean, it hasn't been good. I mean, the very first game, right? Six earned, three innings pitched. Strikeouts are not there. Walking a ton of guys. It's just I don't know how much longer he's actually even going to be up. So I would be totally fine dropping him. And I don't know what's his roster percentage. It can't be that high either. I'm looking at. I'll pull it up on Fantasy Bros here in a second. It is at 13%. So
I have him at 22% on Yahoo. But
yeah, this is like
this
is like accumulation of leagues here.
Oh, well, just to piggyback on what Joe said, you can drop Kumar Rocker at some point in his career. I think Kumar Rocker will probably be a pretty good option, but if they were healthier, like I don't think there is a chance that Kumar Rocker is already out of this rotation and back at AAA. He was struggling. He struggled awfully in spring training. He had like 2 okay-ish starts at the end, and they said, okay, well, we're going to put you in. They actually had a good start the other night out of Patrick Corbin. Sounds like Jack Leiter he's got a blister going on. I think when Jack Leiter gets healthy or Cody Bradford gets healthy, Kumar Rocker is the odd man out here. So yeah. And it looks Stan in the comments saying Rocker's dominating tonight though. See?
Oh, is he? Let's see here. 7 innings, 3 earned, 5 hits, 8 strikeouts. Ooh, all right. Who are they playing? I don't even know who they're playing right now.
Texas is against the Angels.
Yeah, I mean, not the toughest of lineups, but we've seen them put up some runs. But yeah, no, that's a good sign. I need to see him do it a lot. I need to see him do it a lot more before I'm convinced to keep him.
Of course, we want to see him do this, but like you just said, it's enough that it'll get him another turn in the rotation. But there is a chance that that we still see Kumar Rocker in the minors by May. I think that's still possible. And so no, I'm good dropping him.
Agreed.
Yeah,
agreed.
My only comment on him is whether or not you need to change your name of your team from Twisted Sisters I Want to Rock or Michael Jackson's Rock With You. So that's all we got for the main list of names here. In a second here, we will rip through our Reddit picks. So let's go ahead and do that. We have a bunch of names here. We're just going to do
you want me to rip through these?
Rapid fire, and I'm just going to say the name, and then we'll go back and forth. Joe, Corey, Joe, Joe, Corey. If that's enough, we'll figure it out. Ooh. All right. Jaason Dominguez.
I don't have any stats pulled up on any of these guys.
No, we don't need stats.
Memory at this point.
Just gut feel right now. That's what we're going with. Jaason Dominguez.
This will be fun. I'm gonna get full of myself somewhere. Sure. Be like, he sucks right now.
Yes. No. Joe, Jaason Dominguez. For the 5th time.
Oh, yeah. This
rapid fire's going real well.
This is so good.
I'll hold for now.
Corey.
I'll hold Jaason Dominguez. Yep.
All right. Agree. Brandon Nimmo. Corey.
Hold. He's already got 4 home runs. He's always an OBP player. He'll be fine.
Joe.
Agreed.
All right. Heliot Ramos. Joe.
I'm gonna hold as well. I like his game. I think there's too much potential there with him.
What do we have? 3 home runs, 2 steals. Yeah, the average sucks, but no, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Fine. Hold on that. Okay, my friend and pre-cut Jake Berger, Corey.
Yeah, it's been disappointing. He's one I want to put on the bench. He's kind of like Triston Casas. I want to bench him. I don't want to cut him, but I think the power's still there for the 30 home runs, and he's a notoriously slow starter, but I want to bench him.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say exactly what I was going to say. The slow start for him is always bad. So brutal.
All right. We got Kyle Manzardo. Joe.
Man, I want to say hold because he was so good for like the first couple weeks, and now it's like, I'm just afraid it's gonna the bottom's falling out. So I think I'm holding for a little bit longer and hoping there's a little bit of a bounce back, but he's got a real short leash for me.
Okay, Corey.
Especially with DH only eligibility.
Yeah.
He's out of the lineup today. Hopefully you can still add someone like Matt Mervis or Ryan O'Hearn. I'm fine dropping Kyle Manzardo.
Yeah, I think I'm a drop on him as well. Break the tie. Next up, we got Austin Wells, Sean Murphy. I don't know why
this was a combo from the same person on Reddit, so I just lumped them together.
Corey,
I would drop Austin Wells for Sean Murphy. Like that's what I would do.
Yeah,
I think Sean Murphy.
It might have been an either or question. I'm not really sure. It just sort of gets thrown out there on Reddit. Like
Sean Murphy's been back for a week and has 4 home runs. Yeah, he's only got 5 hits, but yeah, I'm fine with Sean Murphy. I'll drop Austin Wells for Sean Murphy.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
All right. Joe, Gavin Williams.
I'm fine dropping him. I mean, what are we looking for from Gavin Williams? It's doing the same thing he always has. It's okay.
we were looking for better, but it's not there because he's Gavin Williams. Corey.
Yeah, we were looking for better off of the good spring training, and it hasn't translated at all to the regular season. So he's in streamer territory. He's in that Severino mold where I think he'll pitch every 5th day, so you can stream him, but now you can drop him.
All right. Next up, we've got Josh Jung. Corey?
Isn't he? I'm pretty sure he's injured right now again, right? So, yeah, if he's injured, you can drop him.
Yeah, I think he was actually.
I'm pretty sure he's injured. So if he's injured, you can drop him. And I've never been a Josh Jung guy anyway, so I'm fine dropping him.
Yeah, I don't know if I realized he was injured either, but I know he has a pretty high batting average. He already hit a bomb. He stole a base. I mean, I've always liked the potential with him, but yeah, if he's injured, go ahead and drop him. But I mean, if he's healthy, like you keep on, that's a pretty good start.
Yeah, I mean, if he's injured
but he's only got 9 games, so yeah, there must be some sort of injury mixed in there. But it looks like he hit a 2-run home run on the 12th, so about 5 days ago. So
Sunday,
that would have been Friday. So
Saturday.
I don't know.
I got it. Josh Jung, 10-day injured list, neck spasms.
Ooh.
Okay,
so maybe he's back,
fresh.
but I guess he's back off the injured list with neck spasms. I don't know. It looks like he was injured. I guess maybe he's back.
Yeah.
They have him in that. Yeah, he's back playing. So he is playing, but I'm still fine dropping him. I've never been a Josh Jung guy, but I'll take that one.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Joe, Luis Garcia Jr.
I actually dropped him earlier on. I think now I'm back to hold with him because he seems like he's back in the lineup like full time again. I'm looking at Raza Resource, and he's been at second base the last 6 games. He's got the little red off his batting, L there for lefty. So it doesn't look like he's in a platoon anymore. So if he's in that lineup, we saw what he did last year. I think he can kind of get back to that again. When he was being platooned, I was all out.
Yeah. Corey?
No, I'm fine dropping him. He's 1 for 9 against lefties. Even if he's in the lineup, I'm not sure that it actually helps you more. It just helps you drop your average more. Yes, I'd rather have him in the lineup against lefties, but the only reason you keep him at this point is because second base sucks and you can't find a better replacement. But then that's true, it does. Yeah. So if you can't find anything there, but if you have a second baseman off the waiver wire who's good right now, I'd have to pick up a list here, but I'd be fine dropping him for that. Otto Lopez. No, maybe. I'd probably keep him for that.
Actually,
but, Tyler Fitzgerald, I drop him for Tyler Fitzgerald right now.
That's a good one. Dylan Moore is another one.
I drop him for Dylan Moore. Dylan Moore's going to play every day.
Yep.
With all the injuries in Seattle, I drop him
low in the batting order, but he's been producing lately. So, I'm okay dropping Garcia too. There's other guys out there that you can find and scour for second base. If he starts getting hot, maybe try to grab him back up. But yeah. All right. Carlos Correa, Corey.
It's one of my boys. No, of course not. You don't drop him. He's a star. What are you talking about?
Never.
Look, it's been awful. I'm not going to lie. It's been terrible. He's been awful so far. Hit
really
164. But strikeout rate's the lowest it's ever been, 15%. No, he's not hitting the ball hard at all. And he left the game early the other day with a hand injury. But no, I'm still holding him in every place because, look, I'm gluttons for punishment around here, man.
Yeah.
You're not AJ. You don't rage drop.
There's no rage drop. He rage drops Correa and then puts a waiver claim in for him.
Yeah.
Rage pickup.
That's my boy. Can't let you go. I'm good. I'm good replacing Correa. I mean, I don't think he's gonna hit 164 the rest of the year. Like his batting average has always been pretty high, but the game has been kind of his like major productive days are long gone in my opinion. So I don't think he's anything that you're like clamoring to have on your team.
Tiebreaker, I will drop him. Keep an eye on him, but drop him for now. All right, Joe, Eugenio Suarez.
Oh, it is a rough patch right now for him. He has been striking out at a crazy high clip the last week, but I'm holding. We have seen the power from him already this season. Like, it was crazy the first week and a half. It's just he's gone super cold. But, I mean, we know batting average isn't going to be his thing. So you're just hoping to get 30, 35 bonds from him, and you'll be perfectly happy if he can bat, 220 at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's what you drafted him for, especially how late you got him at third base. You're going to be plenty happy with that.
Yeah. And the homers. Corey?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're all complaining about. 80% of his hits are going for extra base
I
hits
know.
right now. If he has 140 hits, that's like 112 extra base hits. He's basically Aaron Judge. Like, no, I'm just kidding. Like, yeah, he's been terrible. Like, he's got 10 hits in this season, and 5 of them are home runs. But like Joe said, you didn't expect average out of him anyways. That was a bonus. I still think, like you said, you're going to get 30 home runs.
Yeah. He's like a glorified Josh Jung right now. So,
Sure.
Look
at this timing.
Bellinger.
Cody
Corey.
Bellinger, I am holding. There's no way I'm dropping Cody Bellinger going into Yankee Stadium with the short porch there. I think it's a great fit for him. Hasn't been rough. Yeah, he's hitting 185, but he's already got 9 runs, 9 homers, or 9 RBIs, excuse me. So, I still think 2020 season happens for Cody Bellinger.
Joe?
Yeah, I'm going to hold. I'm not giving up a guy in the heart of that Yankees lineup and somebody who's been productive as Cody Bellinger has in his career.
Yeah. Former MVP, Cody Bellinger. Yeah. Hold. Mason Wynn? Joe?
I mean, I think I said it a while ago. Like, I'm good letting him go. I'm like, he hasn't done anything. He's actually is he even in the, like, I'm looking at
He's hurt right now too. He's
hurt right now. Yeah, I was gonna say he's not even on the. I missed that. I've been gone for a few days, so I guess that happened. But
yes, we know vacation. Sorry, the trip.
Jealous?
Corey.
Jealous?
Jealous?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you can drop Mason Wynn, especially because he's injured right now. If you can stash him on the injured list, of course you do that. But otherwise, if you need to, you drop him. Yeah.
Yep. All right. What's the story? Trevor's glory. Corey.
Why is Trevor's story on this list? I'm a little shocked here. Like, the dude has 3 home runs, 6 stolen bases, and is hitting 299. No, you don't drop that. That's a top 15 shortstop right now who plays every day in one of the best lineups in the game.
I don't know. Maybe this was a Reddit troll. I don't know. I just
you
grabbed names and threw them on there.
Yeah, no, you do not drop Trevor's story,
including the next guy.
Mackenzie Gore. Joe.
Yeah, no, I'm not dropping Mackenzie Gore. I don't think he's as good as like the first few starts, but come on, the guy has been great this season.
I think he leads baseball in strikeouts. Actually, he does. He leads baseball in strikeouts with 32. No, you should keep Mackenzie Gore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Drop him and give him to me.
Yeah.
Drop him.
I will trade you my worst pitcher. You can have Mackenzie Gore if you'd like.
Yeah,
that's fine.
All right, Sasaki, Corey.
Oh, it was so bad to start, but he did look a little better in his last start. It looked 5 innings, he gave up 1 earned. The strikeouts aren't there. That's been the disappointing part, and they're not going to let him pitch into games. He's only got 13 innings in these 4 starts. Now, some of it was because he struggled, but I don't want to drop him either. I would rather keep him on my bench, but he was also, we said it on here, like, he was overdrafted. So if you were drafting him with a top 100 pick and expecting that, then that's on you, man. So no, I don't want to drop him, but he was overdrafted anyways.
Yeah, I mean, they don't need him to go deep into games with the bullpen they have. No. Although, if you watch last Saturday's game, their bullpen absolutely got demolished.
Yeah. Not
mainly
good.
One guy. But
Kasperitis or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Kasperius.
That was fun to watch my ERA go up by about 3 points by one relief pitcher. That was great.
Awesome.
Moving on.
Good times. All right. Clay Holmes. Joe.
No, I think I'll hold. It hasn't been awesome. Like, you were hoping for better. The whip's really high. He's walking a lot of guys right now. That's kind of the problem. But he's been able to kind of get out of it. The ERA is not, bloated or anything. I'm hanging on to Clay Holmes.
Corey.
Yeah, I think he's getting better. Last 2 games, 18 strikeouts in a little over 10 innings there. That's getting better. Like Joe said, the walks are high, but no, I'm not. There's no way I'm dropping Clay Holmes.
Yeah, 31.5 K%. I like that. 12.5-ish almost. Walks, don't love it, but that'll come down. Yeah, I'm holding as well. All right, Nick Lodolo. Corey.
So do I want to drop Nick Lodolo first off? Absolutely not. Like he's been good in a way that is not anything like what we've seen out of him before. I have no idea where the strikeouts have been. Like when he's good, usually it's that he gets strikeouts and walks people, and that's where he struggles. Right now, he's just not giving up any hits at all. He's not giving up any hard contact, but he has 14 strikeouts in 23 innings. It's weird. If we can actually mesh all this together where he gets strikeouts and pitches well, that's a top 25 starting pitcher. So, no, he's not pitching well, and he's still producing. No, you do not drop him.
Joe?
Yeah. It is a weird thing because I drafted him late thinking, yeah, I'll just go get some strikeouts. I'm good on ERA. Well, he's helping my ERA and not helping my strikeouts. So, get with the program, dude. I mean, 0.77 walks per 9. Like, that's unreal for him. Like, that's just crazy. But then 5.4 Ks per 9. Also completely insane. Like,
yeah.
I don't think either one of those numbers is going to keep up with him. But he's doing something different. I haven't dug into exactly what it is. I'm sure there's articles out there that have. I'd be very curious to kind of see what's going on, what he's doing different to kind of get these numbers. But yeah, there's no way I'm getting rid of him.
Yeah, the second L needs to be the next letter. Lodomo K's. Okay, Lodomo K's. We need more of that.
This is a good comment here. Sasaki might be useless in quality starts leagues. Yes. There's a lot of pitchers useless in quality starts leagues now.
Yeah.
But that's why we need to switch to quality appearances. Go Fantrax.
Yes, exactly. QA3 for the win. All right. Robbie Ray. Joe.
No, not dropping. Again, another guy who I think if he can stay healthy, can give you a ton of innings. Strikeouts aren't, quite where we would hope with him. ERA's, just north of 4. He's not the Robbie Ray that we knew, but is he droppable? I don't think so. Especially pitching in San Francisco, that is a nice little park to pitch in for these guys. Now he gets a pretty rough division, unfortunately, with the Dodgers and the Padres.
Diamondbacks.
Yeah. I don't know. I've blanked on them. But yeah, those aren't going to help him. But I don't think he's droppable by any means.
No, Corey.
I'd be fine dropping him in the same sense of dropping like Gavin Williams if it's that shallow of a league where you can drop Gavin Williams. I think that's kind of what he is. If you drafted Robbie Ray, you just had to know that you're going to have a high whip because he's going to walk batters, and that's what the problem is again, is he's walking batters. But if you drafted Robbie Ray, it was probably in the same sense as drafting like Lodolo where you got strikeouts and he's giving you strikeouts. So in that case, you probably shouldn't drop him. Just realize that the ratios are going to be tough. Like you have to plan around the ratios with Robbie Ray, but you're going to get strikeouts. Like Joe said, there's a good chance he gets wins. The Giants are good, but there is some ratio stuff. So I'm okay dropping him. I probably don't want to though.
Yes. 17.6 walk rate right now. That is UGLY. About 25K percentage. I can deal with that, but I don't like that ratio right now. And an ERA over 4. Still early, and he pitches in San Fran, so that's helpful, but the walks are scary for me. Next up, we've got Westberg, who we already talked about. Corey.
Not a chance. No way. He's got 3 home runs already. Yeah, he's hitting 196. His BABIP is also 205 with a 43% hard hit rate. That doesn't marry up. That average, that'll come up. The average will come with it. It's a 250 hitter who's going to hit you 20 home runs this season, and we haven't seen him steal a base yet, but I think he's got double-digit steals in there. There's absolutely no chance. That's a top 10 second baseman.
Joe, Westberg?
Nah, no way. Everything Corey said and then some. Like, there's not a chance I'm dropping him.
All right. Next up, Conforto. of the Michael family? Joe?
No, it's a little slow start for him. I was hoping for better, but again, like with Max Muncy, I'm not looking to drop anybody from this Dodgers lineup. It's just too good that you're going to get a ton of stats, even if they're below average in batting average, in getting on base. So, but his OBP is high, so he's getting on base a ton. So he's going to score, and he's already scored 11 runs. So there you go.
Yeah. Corey?
As long as he keeps playing every day, like Joe said, he's fine. Right now, they are playing him against lefties. When the season came up, I thought they might sit him against lefties. I didn't pull up how he's doing against them, but as long as he keeps playing and batting fifth, you don't drop anybody in the middle of the Dodgers lineup.
No. It's always a bad idea. The average is hurting, but he's still getting on base a lot, so keeping him, holding him. All right, we got Adolis Garcia. Corey?
I believe he hit a home run again tonight, which puts him at 3 home runs and 4 steals with a 220 average. I mean, that's what you drafted him for. If you drafted him for average, then I don't know what you're thinking because it's not going to come, but you're going to get 20 homers and 20 steals. I don't have him anywhere because I didn't want that, but if you drafted him, he's doing what you drafted him for. So, no, you don't drop him.
Joe?
No, I'm not dropping him. I wanted nothing to do with him in draft season because I thought he was being overdrafted. I thought, everything's going in the wrong direction. He's not running like he used to. He is almost back to running like he used to. Like this, So like the sprint speed was going down. Just last year was down to 26th percentile or 36th percentile. It's back up to 65th percentile. Not elite, but got to get him more steals.
Yep.
We know the power is there. Batting average is not. You had to expect that. I mean, he's overperforming in my opinion. So I think you hold on to him.
Yeah. All right, Riley Green. Joe?
No, I'm not dropping him. It is concerning the strikeouts, the 42% strikeouts, but man, we've seen it with him. I'm going to give him some more time. He does already have 3 home runs, so something like that. I think, he's got to stop chasing the ball a little bit. The hard contact rate isn't even like where it should be for him either. It's actually pretty low. So once he starts connecting on the ball a little bit more, we're gonna see more balls in play for him, and we're gonna see the average, I think, skyrocket. And obviously, the hard hit rate will bring even more home runs. So I'm not dropping him.
Corey?
Yeah, he's somebody I want to put on the bench, though. The strikeouts are just untenable now. It's not what we saw from him before, but he's now 0 for his last 15 going into today. I know he had more strikeouts today. 0 for his last 15 with 10 strikeouts, and they did start to move him down for the lineup. Watch the lineup spot. If he moves down in the lineup, then it becomes more likely to drop him for now. Bench him, but no, I want to keep holding him for now. But it's been bad. He is one that has been concerning.
All right. Next up, we have J.J. Day. Corey?
5 outfielder leagues. I want to keep holding him because he's playing in Vegas or the Sacramento Park thing there that I already talked about how easy it is. He had a few hits, but in 3 outfielder leagues, you can drop J.J. Bleday.
Hit a bomb tonight or today.
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's
5 outfielder
on
leagues, I think it's
now.
fine, but in 3 outfielder leagues, he's a top 60-ish outfielder, whereas you just want top 40 outfielders. So top 5 outfielder leagues, yes. 3 outfielder leagues, you can get rid of J.J. Bleday.
Yeah. Hitting 500 the past 2 days, 2 runs homer and 3 ribbies. I mean, it's 2 days, but extrapolate it out, and it's pretty good. So
because we can just do that, we're good.
Yeah, all right,
that works every time, AJ.
Absolutely, 60% of the time. Spencer Arrighetti, Corey.
I mean, if you don't have an injured spot anymore, or you need the bench spot, if he's going to have him on your bench, go ahead and drop him because he's probably out for 3 months with a broken thumb. If you can keep him on your injured spots, keep him there. But otherwise, you can drop him if you run out of injured spots. Sure.
All right, Joe.
Same as Corey. I don't think there's really any reason to stash him unless you've got an IL spot. He wasn't even pitching that great to begin with, so not that worried about it.
Yeah. All right. And the last one we have for this rapid fire is Jordan Romano.
I love that it's a Philly. Just want to point out, I love It's a Philly.
Me too.
There were a lot of Phillies today, which
Go.
was fantastic. I did not tell Reddit to do that, by the way.
Nice.
I did.
So
Search Phillies love and guys to drop fantasy baseball.
is this me? I think
yes,
it's me first
you.
this time. Yeah, I'm fine dropping Romano. Like he definitely he got demoted. Like, and he was pitching horribly. He wasn't good last year, even before he got hurt. Like, nah, go ahead and get rid of him. I'm not, maybe like your 15 team like NFBC leagues, you can stash him. Maybe he gets a job back, but I don't think the Phillies are itching to put him back there right now. Like they're doing okay with Alvarado.
Yeah. Corey?
Yeah, you can drop him. Even in a holds league, I'd rather have Kerkering or Strom from the Phillies bullpen than Romano. And like a saves league, if you want to stash him, fine. But like I'd rather stash David Bednar, who's been great and going to AAA. I think Jason Foley went on the injured list, but Emilio Pagan, there are so many better options. I don't need to keep Jordan Romano.
Oh, Emilio Pagan blew the save today. Or was it today? Yes.
They should just go to Tony Santillan. I don't know why they refused to give it to Tony Santillan, who's clearly the best pitcher in that bullpen, but that is another question for a different day for Terry Francona's. But
yeah, Romano has definitely looked better the last 3 games. Only 1 hit, also only 1 strikeout though, 2 holds. Keep an eye on him, but yeah, I like Strom. I like Kerkering better as well. So, but Alvarado is shaky. I don't love him as a closer. He had another sketchy game today. Gave up a homer and then got a bunch of guys on base. Made it interesting. So keep an eye on the situation because
Isn't that like the story of every Phillies closer every single year? I feel like this is a theme.
Because they don't have a freaking closer. That's why. They're like, oh, we're just going to play the odds and analytics, whatever. Yes.
I mean, I'll take Alvarado, who has a 15.12 K per 9 rate right now.
His K rate is phenomenal, but his heart attack rate is also right up there. So got to keep that in mind.
A .37 FIP going into today. I don't know what it is after today, but that's wow.
Colorado.
Yeah,
pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Let's see what we got here.
AJ just got hate. All right,
I
news.
don't know. I got hate. All right, news. Breaking news. All right, Spencer Strider and Alexis Diaz back from injuries. We've got Marcell Ozuna with some hip inflammation. Matt Shaw back down to AAA, which we already mentioned earlier. Ronald Acuna Jr. is ramping up. Logan Henderson, Edgar Cuero, Caleb Durbin, and Luke Keyshaw called up. Corey, we'll start with you. Any of these pique your interest?
Well, Marcell Ozuna, so they're at Toronto. They sent him home to get an MRI, so he's back in Atlanta. It didn't sound super concerning. Like it sounds like they're gonna avoid the injured list there. But so if you started him in a weekly league, sucks for you because you're only gonna get him for half the week. But I think we're good with him. I'm not too worried about that. Strider looks okay. Like he pitched fine. He gave up, I think, 1 earned run, but it was not throwing as hard. It did not look quite as good as we come to expect for Spencer Strider.
2, didn't he? Because he gave up the home run to Vlad.
Oh yeah, okay. So 2 runs.
Vlad's first home run of the year came against Strider.
Yeah, it's only homer.
It just did not. I didn't check I didn't check it afterwards on the StatCast to see what his velocity was. It did not look like he was throwing as hard as he was.
Yeah.
Now we were talking about how Toronto is probably pretty cold. I mean, I guess it's indoors, so it probably shouldn't be. But like, I don't know. I was
they heat the indoors there.
Thoroughly mid on what Strider did. That's what I'll say. I thought it was fine. I wanted more.
Yeah, it looked like his fastball velocity, 95.4 according to the StatCast. Not what you expected from him. And I mean, I know he dominated like John Lopresto and a couple guys on our Discord, Like Spencer Strider Day, he's 13 Ks in AAA. Like, dude, he's supposed to do that. Like, I'm sorry, but like if he doesn't do that in AAA, like we got problems. I think he's gonna come around, but it's gonna take a bit, man. He's coming. We gotta remember he came back really quickly from Tommy John compared to a lot of people. And I know it was like a slightly different procedure, but it's still early, and I think he's gonna have some games where it's gonna be awesome. But I think there's gonna be some other games like there was earlier this week where it's okay. Like he's not going to get crushed, but I don't think we're going to get those like 10, 12, 13 strikeout games like we've seen him in the past. Like not on the regular.
Yeah. Just be patient with him, and maybe we get there at some point. But that's where we're at now. Alexis Diaz is droppable. He's not closing. They said they want to go to Pagan. So if you've been holding Alexis Diaz and it's a saves league, I think he's droppable. And he's had 2 rough outings since coming back. Matt Shaw is droppable. We talked about him already. They have to keep him in AAA for at least 15 days, and he looked overmatched. I think he'll be fine. Like in long terms, I think he'll be fine, but you're not going to see him for a while again. Ronald Acuna, that's good news. I assume we're talking like early to mid-May would be my guess. It sounds like they're going to try and get him running soon here, get him playing, go out on a rehab assignment. We did not see any spring training, so like a month from now would be my assumption with Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like Roto World is talking about mid-May. So about a month.
Yeah. And I can power through some of these prospect ones for us too here. So Logan Henderson.
I'm still kind of sorry, real quick on Acuna. I'm still kind of wondering like how much are they going to let him run when he comes back?
That's the scary part.
That's the part with me where I'd be very, very concerned, and probably on the lower end of projections with his stolen base total, in my opinion.
Yeah. So let's say he comes back in mid-May, 25 homers, 10 steals.
I'd probably go maybe 15 steals from him.
I think 15 steals. I think that's doable. Yeah. That's still a pretty good year.
It is. But I mean, Acuna, people were still drafting him on like the 2-3 turn.
Yeah.
In a lot of leagues, and you knew he was missing at least a month and a half. You're hoping for more than that when you draft a guy like Acuna at that spot, on the 2-3. So
you are.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's why I didn't do it.
I did it in our keeper league here, but that's a little different because I can keep him for a few years. So
right, yes, agreed.
The prospects there. Logan Henderson's a pitcher for the Brewers. The Brewers need all the starting pitcher help they can get with all their injuries, and he was pretty good last year between all 4 levels of high A through AAA. 104 strikeouts with a 3.32 ERA. He's going to get a long opportunity. Caleb Durbin was also with the Brewers. We can cover him right away. He was part of the trade that got them Nestor Cortez for Devin Williams. He is a second baseman, third base eligible who can steal bases. So I could have put Chase Madroth on here too. He's more of an OBP guy. Caleb Durbin has higher tools. I think you can get more steals, similar power. Keyshell's another second base prospect with the Twins. So they have a ton of middle infield injuries going on. We talked about it a little bit with Correa, but Brooks Lee is injured. So they have to find a spot. Keyshell was injured last year, but he's like a 300 hitter who probably could give you 15 home runs at second base. And Edward Cuero, he's a catcher for the White Sox, which we already talked about the abysmalness of their lineup. And they have another catching prospect waiting in the wings called Kyle Teal, who they got as a return for Garrett Crochet, which means that Edward Cuero better hit, or there's somebody breathing over his shoulder. So 2 catcher leagues, go for it. Otherwise, you'd street catcher better than Edward Cuero.
Yep, definitely agree.
All right. The only thing I would add to that is in that Strider game yesterday against Toronto, the Braves' top 3 players in the lineup, Michael Harris, Austin Riley, and Matt Olson, when a combined 1 for 12 with 11 strikeouts. So
Chris Bassett looked better in that.
Chris Bassett was freaking dealing
fantastic. I'm shocked we didn't get Matt Olson questions because he's been bad. I'm surprised we didn't get Michael Harris questions. He's been kind of mediocre. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of guys that I was like, wow, all right, I guess
Yeah.
whatever.
Harris and
blew
Riley
with the
both-
crowd
both
once,
with four,
but
with 4 strikeouts.
there's some other guys I would have put on this list that I think had way more question marks than some of the ones that we talked about. But
Yep.
give the people what they want, right? So
Give the people
all
what
right.
they want.
Yeah. 19
All right, that's
Ks
it.
total.
Yeah,
For Atlanta.
that is it for the show. I want to thank you for listening and watching. Next week, I believe we're moving the show to Wednesday, right, fellas, or are we just skipping?
We can do
we'll
Wednesday
talk
or we can
TBD.
skip, but I can't do Thursday night.
No,
NFL
I'm
draft
definitely
is
not.
the-
Yeah.
I am definitely not doing Thursday. I'm jumping on some other shows to kind of talk the NFL draft a little bit here and there, and going to be tweeting a bunch about it, hopefully. So, yeah, definitely. It'll either be Wednesday or we'll skip it. Just stay tuned on Twitter. We'll let you guys know. We'll try to fit it in. But yeah, after that, I believe we're jumping right back into guests starting early May, and yeah. Unless you guys got anything else to add, I think we are done.
Nope. I'm good.
All right. See y'all
Go
later.
Phillies.